All right, welcome to, I think this is 85. This is going to be episode 85, whether it is or not. I have been having problems, of my FX buddies, right? The podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog, there's video content, there's a transcript, and then YouTube. Okay. Um, it's been 4 days since my last recording. I keep deleting stuff and it still keeps telling me that it's full. So hopefully I'll be able to do this with no problem. So we'll see. All right, my FX buddies. So the blog, myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, or possibly you could use just myfxbuddies.com, but you have to put the HTTPS, S as in Sam, in front of it. RSS.com has the transcript. Spotify.com has video content if you're a paying subscriber, I believe, and then audio if you're not. And Rumble has the video, myfxbuddies.com. Oops, myfxbuddies, Rumble, whatever, you know how that works. And there's one more. Okay, YouTube. I've heard people that I listen to complain that comments are being deleted. And I'm like, that wouldn't affect me. I'm just little old me. I don't even have that many subscribers or watchers or whatever. But I think that's happening. So because there was one person who requested to know how to see the Gazette, and I went to go answer that, and it was gone. Now maybe it's just me, because I'm not. I mean, I can do some stuff with technology, but some stuff just throws me, and it's usually the easy stuff that throws me. But anyway, so that seems to be happening. And AI messes it up for everybody. All right, so that's that. Oh, but if you're watching on YouTube, or you think you're watching on YouTube, you're actually not. That is a podcast, and that's why the image stays the same. Should you want to see like I go here, look at this, see this, look at this picture. That is on the blog. So click below the box that appears to be a video, look for the word more, click that, then another box opens, and the word more, the link to the blog is there. Okay, that's it. And fair use disclaimer at YouTube. Anything that I show is for commentary, critiquing, sharing, educating, and it falls under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act. Okay, so this is going to be really boring. I'll just do like a summary for people who just want to listen and go. They put out yet another Gazette, but not 4782. And I'll tell you why. There's something screwy going on with the budget schedules, even to the point where Sudani held a meeting with Parliament and was like, look, there's 3 different versions here, just here alone, of these budget schedules. What is going on? So I think someone did what is that? Oh, there's a word, but I'm going to say switcheroo. Between passing back and forth to the House of Representatives and Sudani and the Gazette, right? What's that game? 3-card Monte, right? They're doing 3-card Monte. And Sudani's like, oh no, this is not happening. So, I think they may have to go to the federal court after all, but they're still going to work on that. It didn't say how long they're going to work on it, but they're still going to work on it. So if you were wondering what's going on with the budget schedules, that's what's going on. At least that's what the articles say. Okay? And that's what FX Buddies, I go by the articles. Okay? WTO, another article came out Saturday that said they're not in and it's going to be a long time. And I'll show you the exact words in case you don't believe me. And what else? The Gazette, the budget, lots of articles about the exchange rate. The parallel exchange rate is up again. So the travelers are leaving and they're trying to get dollars or exchange the dollars back for dinars or whatever. So because of that activity, the parallel market rate is going up. It's back over almost 1,550 dinars per dollar. So that is causing a lot of, what are they? Analysts, researchers, all those people who come out and say, look how bad the central bank, they're failing, right? Oh, okay, and one other thing. So I believe in the last podcast, there was a guy who said, yes, there was a guy who said, hey, government of Iraq, you should actually wait. You should hold off on joining the World Trade Organization until we get our economic house in order and until we have more products to produce out, put out globally. Well, they gave him a 30-minute talk show last night. Now, I don't know if it was live last night, but I saw it last night. And I was able to translate one thing where he said there's been some countries that have joined the WTO and it hurt their economic standing. And that's one of the reasons why he thinks they should wait. But again, he's not part of the government. He's a former something or another. But I was shocked that they gave him 30 minutes because his article was only like 3 paragraphs. And then he got a whole 30-minute talk show about it. Okay, so that's that. If you're a person that just wants that little summary is good, bye. Thank you. Sorry, I had the window open. So now we'll get into the other stuff. So the title of this blog is Addressing the Problems of the Iraqi Financial System. But what this actually is, in my opinion, is citizen education. And if you're new to this, say a year and a half in, you might want to read this. Most of us old hats, we know this. So it's very long, but it's very brief, does that make any sense? So it's lengthy, but the descriptions are short. So if you're listening and not watching, let me just read a little bit of it. The financial system in Iraq consists of a group of institutions and structures that manage the financial and economic affairs of the country. Here are the components of this system in detail. So it lists the CBI and what they do, commercial banks, specialized banks, the stock market, Ministry of Finance. So you go down the Securities Commission. It is basically a mini little education of their economic system. And people like myself, I know a lot of this, but why? Because I scour over all these articles day in and day out, right? But yeah, so if you are curious and you want to learn something, there it is. It's there for you. So if you go to the blog, like I said, it's the first article. And you could read it, you could print it out and study it. Um, but whatever. So yeah, okay. I just wanted to go over that. I thought, you know me, I always like to see them doing citizen education because I think they're just, that means they're just one step closer, right? To actually doing this. Okay. So here, I should have put this bolded. What is the benefit of Iraq joining the World Trade Organization? And this is a news website sheds light on the secrets. So I'm just going to read this first paragraph. Iraq announced the resumption of negotiations to join the World Trade Organization for the first time since 2008, a step that may benefit the Iraqi economy, but will take a long time. There it is, in black and white. So if you want to read the rest of that, you can. But then, look here. They invited them, trade, which is Iraqi trade minister people. They got invited to this, whatever this stands for, meeting on Arab countries' accession to WTO. And it's technical stuff. It's a technical meeting organized by this, whatever. And it was in Turkey, Istanbul. It's a 2-day meeting, and it even says they let them go. Here, Iraq's participation in these technical meetings enhances the experience of the Iraqi negotiation team and pushes it to move forward quickly towards achieving full ascension to the World Trade Organization, as the exchange of knowledge and experiences gained from these meetings will have a significant positive impact on improving Iraq's negotiating capabilities and achieving its economic goals. So there's more to that article also, but that summarizes it right there. So I thought that was great. All right. Saturday, see Sadani here cutting this red ribbon. They opened a light equipment production plant where they're producing military industrialization stuff. So here, this is a little tiny one, unless I put this in the middle. No, yeah, okay. So here's just a little tiny article. But below this, opening a group of factories and plants in the field of military industries in Iraq. So this goes more in detail into what they're going to be building, and it's ammunitions and stuff, right? If you want to know, you can go to the blog and read it. But then this morning, because that's when I watched the TVs, they showed one of those like uh dogs, the robot dogs with no head that are real creepy looking. And it had the same symbol that is tied to those two articles I read you. So I think they are going to be building some little robot dogs. Now they don't look as mm, mm, warlike as the ones, if you've already seen some on the internet, they show them. Supposedly there's some in the subways in New York, right? Remember, supposedly they were using some of those robot dogs down in the subway. They look a little more friendly and more rounded. I don't know why I'm describing that. Anyway, so they're just moving right along. They're making boats and stuff. And I'm wondering, who are they making this for and who are they selling it to? Probably whoever will buy it, right? Okay, here, this is another announcement. Inclusion of commercial centers and private stores in electronic payment system in Iraq. This was one article. There were others. And all in all, it was about 100 stores and private, what did it say? Private stores and commercial centers, right? So you go in the centers and there's multiple stores in the centers. They're claiming they're all on the electronic payment system now. So they're moving that right along. Here's an article about inflation, which is probably not 100% truthful, but they got a visit from the UAE and another country also. I can't remember who it was, but they met to discuss what? Partnerships with Iraq and developing and diversifying economic and trade ties. So countries are still coming in, even though I feel they're behind schedule on their rate change. They still have to go through the motions, right? Here's okay, manipulating budget tables is a dangerous matter due to final accounts. So you can read this, but basically it says that's why we can't submit final accounts because you guys are manipulating the budget schedules. That's one article. Here's Iran complaining about something. Who cares? But I have it there if you want to read it. Oh, there's protesters. Angry protesters compare salaries to presidencies and threaten a sit-in in Baghdad. So this is something that's being held up. When they change the rate, they're gonna redo the salary. Well, let me not say that. Possibly the two would be separate from each other. But they've been promising these people doing this, changing the salary scale for years. So that's why I believe they're connected, but maybe not. But the people, they're out in the street. The demonstration will turn into a comprehensive sit-in if our demands are not met. So, okay, we can skip that. Here's one of those articles I was telling you about. The central bank's policies confused, and the dollar will reach 1600 for this reason. And you could read that if you like. But here's the most important paragraph is at the bottom. But remember, I was saying the rate got up to 1520 in writing. But if it's 1520 in writing, someone somewhere is paying 1550 or more, right? Okay, here, urgent. Sudani demands Parliament to clarify the existence of 3 different versions of the budget, and he has documents. And here's 1, and here's 2. But I couldn't see how they're light, blurry, I don't know. So I couldn't translate them, but really I don't care. The fact is, he's like, no, this is not right. And you will clarify this. So who's doing this, right? Who's doing the switcheroo on him or whoever? So yeah, that's going to be held up for a while. Hopefully not a long while, but a while. Okay, a while. So now Sunday, this was a pretty interesting article. Parliamentary committee calls for substantial amendments to investment law to attract foreign investments. So I believe the investment law is one of those laws that needs to be finalized. It protects who? The investors, right? There's laws for against extortion, against blackmail, kidnapping, all kinds of things that you would think you wouldn't need laws against, but you do. And some of those are all in this investment law. All right. But it'll probably be on hold until when? Until they change the rate. So, and then also the Parliamentary Finance Committee got new staffing. So did people get fired? Did time just expire? I don't know. But the committee stressed at the same time the importance of taking the necessary measures regarding the issue of tampering with budget schedules, addressing the relevant authorities, and committing to a firm position on it. Maybe the ones that are accused of tampering, maybe they're the ones that got replaced. I don't know. So many questions. Okay, So there's been some banks have been caught. Um, the auditing, remember they're doing the auditing? And so here the Central Bank of Iraq imposes financial penalties on banks and exchange companies amounting to 43 billion dinars. That article's there if you want to read it. Here's another article about the budget tables. So here's another document, but see how scrunched up it is? Okay. And then here we will investigate changes in the general budget schedules. So if you want to read those to know every detail that's in the articles, they're on the blog there for free. Financial scandal shakes the National Bank of Iraq. Suspicious fluctuations and unjustified expense inflation. So this is here. You can read all of this. And what I like is they have the financial statements here. Well, I can't click on it now because this is a preview. But when it's a live blog, you'll be able to click on it. But guess what? It's in Arabic. So, yeah. And the numbers are, regular numbers that we recognize, but the categories are in Arabic, and it's really difficult, in my opinion, in my experience. It's difficult to translate tables and graphs. All right, so that's one. That's the National Bank of Iraq. And there's another, the South here, Bank of the South. Inflated investments and a collapse in liquidity. Financial manipulation or a major scandal. And you can read that. And also, they have financial statements there. So what I like is this will help, hopefully, help the citizens feel secure or gain confidence in using the banks again to see they're being audited and stuff is being found and they're putting the documents there for them to see. Now, and obviously not everyone's going to go there, but the ones who know how to read that stuff, they will go there. Okay, we haven't seen the Minister of Finance in a while, and lo and behold, there she is. Came out Sunday. Finance Minister to U.S. Embassy. Iraq has great economic potential. The Iraqi government's keenness to strengthen its relations with the United States in various fields, including the economic and financial fields. There's another one that's, and a number of issues of common interest. And I always wonder, what are those? What are those common interests? So there's that. I think there's two articles about, So here's another one. Minister of Finance, the government is working to create an attractive environment for foreign investments. So there's another one with a little different wording. Same length, but a little different wording. There was something in between. No, that's it. Okay, so I put those back to back. We're almost done, I think. Here's a different guy. He's actually a member of the Finance Committee. The dollar will rise due to U.S. policies, and its price cannot be determined accurately because it fluctuates so much. You can't get an accurate price. All right. Here's another article. Between a critic and a supporter, the Iraqi banking sector faces the invasion of Arab and foreign banks. So remember, they had been complaining. Some of the people are complaining, you're favoring the Jordanian banks and other banks than over our Iraqi banks. Well, this article has percentages and years and purchase a share of all this and that. A great article if you like all that information. And look how long it is. So I'm letting you know I glanced over it. I did not read that whole thing, but I know some of you will. So it's there. All right. We're at 24 minutes. We're doing good. We're doing good. Here's another article. The fluctuation of the dollar price in Iraq is invalid, and the reason is, and this is Jamal Antoine. I remember him because I think it's hilarious. His last name is Antoine. Anyway, the economic expert, Vasim Jamil Antoine, considered the continued fluctuation of the dollar price in Iraq to be null and void. Yeah. Denial. But whatever. They put, I guess, since he's a member of the financial committee, they put his article out. But it's not null and void, but it's only because they're dealing with the travelers again. And I'm guessing, and they're unhappy too. They want more outlets open to get their dollars. They have to put in the order, so they have to go online and put in the order 72 hours ahead of time. So that's delaying their trip. Isn't that 3 days? 24, 48. Yeah. That's delaying their trip 3 days just to get dollars. Or put the dollars back into dinar, whatever. So, yeah. I can see them being unhappy about that, right? What is this article? Dollar movement in Iraq. Strange decisions and practices that require contemplation. This is another, it could be citizen education, but it's also just an explanation of what they have to go through. So here's to get the dollar, which technically they shouldn't need, right? Because they're not supposed to be doing stuff in dollars, but guess what? You told them you would be having a new currency by now, right? All of that was supposed to be done in January. And here we are, July, almost August. So what are they supposed to do? It talks about the travelers. It's a good article. I know some people don't really care about that. And it is quite lengthy, but whatever. Here's an economic expert. He comes on TV a lot. I remember his name because DIAA. How can you not remember that? He said limiting the sale of the dollar to certain companies is in the interests of some political parties. Yeah, that's why they're doing it, right? So they can favor the rich and crooked ones, right? All right, we did good. It's 28 minutes, and that's 4 days worth of news. There hasn't been any more retaliation on either side. We have not been hit, and we have not hit, so that's good. That's it. I think you're all caught up. So I already know I'll post tomorrow because this is just Saturday and Sunday. It's not including today, and there's articles out today. And Tuesday, typically Tuesday into Wednesday, that used to be when the heavy article days. So we'll see. But yeah, hang in there. Oh, someone sent me a meme over the weekend of hang in there. I'm gonna try to get it. I'm gonna try to get it off my phone and put it on the blog so you guys can see it. I've never seen it before, and I just thought it was, dare I say, adorable. But yeah. All right. So thank you for listening. Thank you, new subscribers. And if you subscribed once, and my son told me, no, not my son, acquaintance told me they noticed they got unsubscribed. And I'm like, what? I only have 1,000. Why would you two pick on me, right? So, and I hear, I listen to people who have like millions 100,000, and I hear them complaining about their people being unsubscribed. I don't even know how to check. I don't even waste time checking all that stuff. But they said, "Hey, you unsubscribed me," and I was like, no, I didn't." And then I laughed because I was like, I've heard people say they get unsubscribed. So if you did subscribe at one time, you might want to check to see if you are subscribed still. Um, and that's it. If there's a follow, join type of button wherever you are enjoying this content, click it, tap it, swipe it, whatever it takes to activate that function. And since I don't update regularly, when I do update, if technology is working as planned, you'll be notified. All right. Thank you. Enjoy the accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Now, enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame it is that you are enjoying this content. And until next time.